Can you survive a collapse at ridge height? Today, I'm going to teach you the split-second moves that really matter. Ready? Here we go. I'm an elite paraglider with over 3,000 flight hours and multiple distance records. Founder of the Paragliding Men's Group, where great pilots transform into greater men, partners, and fathers. Mastery in the sky begins with owning our shit on the ground, so if you're a man who wants it all, welcome home. Hey, what's up, guys? This is Ari in the Air. Welcome back to the channel. Stoked you're here. I'm stoked to be here. Had a great men's group session this morning. And today I have a video from a dear friend of mine, Sebrand Warren, who is a Xalps rookie this year. He's made it into the Xalps. He's been training super hard. He's also a founding member of the Paragliding Men's Group. He was a part of the very first cohort. He was the first one to sign up. And it was amazing to have him. Now he's part of the alumni group. He mentors the men that go through the Paragliding Men's Group in the future. And he sent me this video of this awesome collapse that he took. I think it's in Hillaire de Tuvet in France. Let's dive into the video here. So we'll watch it one time through and then we'll go back and review and I'll give you my thoughts. Okay, he's flying along the ridge on speed bar. Beeps. 70% collapse. Shoots really hard. Big catch. Oh shit, he says. Oh shit is right, brother. Okay, let's go back through this. So he actually sent me a slow-mo version of it as well. So we're going to look at that. Okay, so he's flying along here. He's on the bar. It looks like full speed bar because you can see the pulleys are overlapped here and there's this loop of webbing sticking out. It looks like he's on full bar. If we just tap back a couple frames here, there's really no rear riser input here to catch this collapse. It happens pretty fast. Big collapse. What does he do? Is this speed bar still on? It is still on right now. It is still on here. The video is a little garbled because of the 360 cam. Is he still on the speed bar? We can't quite tell from this video. Hopefully he's let go of the speed bar, and surely he has, just because Sebrand's a very experienced pilot at this point, and a huge chute that comes out clean. Okay, so the first instance of collapse, obviously there was a possibility that he could have pulled the rear risers down really hard at the first inception of this to keep it from collapsing. But the moment that it does collapse and he's a day late and $1 short, what needs to happen? First things first, get off of the speed bar. And you can see this in his legs. He's coming off of the speed bar here. Whether or not he gets off of the speed bar in time to not be accelerating the chute is unknown because we don't have that in the video. But the glider showing its top surface here, which way is it going to shoot? It's obviously going to turn right because the left glider is open. So if the left glider is open, it's always going to fly first, meaning that it's going to turn itself in that direction. So it does indeed, turns right 90. What happens here? Why do we get this asymmetric? So we just basically get a big asymmetric chute because whatever glider, as we're looking at it here, if the glider's already shooting, but it's only 50% inflated. And it gets this strange asymmetric inflation where the right wingtip goes down towards the horizon. This can be a really dangerous configuration because if you take a collapse here while wingtip is low, basically what happens if you fall towards that wingtip, then the wingtip can just stack itself into the lines and it makes cravats that are super, super sticky that don't come out with stalls. So that's a hazard. Luckily, that's not what happens. And he continues to pull the brake for as long as he needs to. This is something that we talked about in the last video. So Sebrand told me that his thoughts going through his head here when he was flying was that he was low, and then when he took the collapse, he needed to just go hands up and deal with a really hard chute so that he didn't deal with a messy stall or something else. And I think this is, this is wise. Sometimes in this configuration, if I'm really high, I'm going to get on that left brake and I'm going to really make sure that that left wingtip stays away from the lines on the other side. His glider comes out forward and look, it's still going down towards the horizon. He's still pulling brake. He's still pulling brake. Now that right wingtip, you see how it's curling here? It's curling. It's because it's stalling. He's still got, look at the tail fabric, he's pulling an enormous amount of brake. The glider is still going towards the horizon. He's still pulling the brake. It's almost frontaling there. You see this bend or this crease here in the B's that shows that the glider is actually still frontaling, meaning that it's actually gone further and it wants to come in towards the pilot, but he's holding the brakes. And then as soon as the glider stops proceeding down towards the horizon, what does he do? He lets go of the brakes. This is really important timing. The glider's still going down. He's still on the brakes. The moment that it stops, he's off of the brakes. He's going hands up, and he's flying away under a perfect glider. And as you can see here, this is Insta, so there's no way he's more than 50 meters off of the trees here. So he was very low to begin with. This was a high consequence collapse. Let's watch it one more time here. Collapse happens. He didn't react in time. It looks like, honestly, right here, you can see this is the loop of his speed bar. So he's not off the speed bar yet. First things first, take a collapse, get off the speed bar immediately. He's probably trying to get off the speed bar, and whether he does or not before it shoots is impossible for me to say. But at any rate, it comes out clean, and he pulls the brakes so hard and for so long as he just prays that it doesn't just totally frontal. Right here, you can see it almost does frontal, but the important moment here is immediately when the glider stops progressing towards the horizon that you let your hands up. If you don't do this and you start swinging under the glider with your hands buried, the glider is going to violently stall and you're going to go into some cascading event. This is what happens with beginner and intermediate pilots in stalls and spin incidents, is that they overcorrect, they overpilot, and in general, they don't let up when they need to let up, which is as soon as the glider stops progressing downwards towards the horizon. I hope I've beat that into your head there super clear. And thanks so much, Sebrand, for helping me found the paragliding men's group and being a part of that, an amazing contributing member and mentor to other men, as well as sending us this awesome video. If you want to support Sebrand's bid in the 2025 Red Bull Xalp, I have a link for his GoFundMe. He is fundraising. He's a rookie here and looking for brand sponsorships and such. So if you want to support him, then use the link in the description. Thanks so much, Sebrand, for sending this over, and for you guys for watching. We'll see you on the next episode.